In this episode, we'll walk you through a 3-step process to aligning your calendar with your energy levels so that you can maximize your output when your energy is at its highest. Hi and welcome to the Snooze Strategist. We believe in designing your work and life around energy levels so that you can achieve more, work less, and be healthier. I'm Alex Young, and I've got our resident sleep scientist here. Just a click away. There you are, Ashton. How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm excited about this today's episode. How are you?
Not bad, not bad. Could always do with more sleep, but we've got what we've got. Sometimes we need to work on our calendars to maximize it, don't we?
Absolutely, yeah.
So today we've got quite a pointed sort of practical walkthrough, and we're really going to be looking through. And I should share the screen to start off with. How do we get around this challenge of having different energy levels throughout the day? And typically work and our work calendars are set up for us. In other words, you join a company, and for us that are more in the corporate side, people have got their stand-ups, they've got set meetings, they've got invites for meetings throughout the day, and you end up with a calendar that is not designed by you, but you kind of are pummeled around throughout the day, throughout the week, and you just need to find or fight to get some time to get some productive work completed. That's the problem that I've experienced. You've probably experienced, others have experienced, in terms of wherever we work, the job seems to drive the activity. How do we get away from that, given that for each of us, our energy levels are different? So we've talked about sometimes we've got morning people, we've got evening people. And so how do we ensure that we can get our most productive work when our energy levels are highest? So this is a 3-step process we've sort of talked about a lot and tried to make it really simple for people around, the first step being around understanding your daily energy levels. Secondly, setting dedicated time slots in your calendar according to your energy levels. And then thirdly, sharing that and communicating with others so other people also know, other people being your team members, are familiar with your patterns, and then protecting that time. And so that becomes part of your setup. Sorry, we're covering that a little bit with ourselves here, but just this page, we're looking at understanding your daily energy levels. This is something we've talked about a lot, and you've talked about the chronotype before, and I'm showing on the screen here the lark, the third bird, the owl. So different people have different energy levels based on the circadian rhythm throughout the day. And I've got 3 different ways that you can identify this. You can take a gut feel approach and say, I'm usually active in the morning. I reckon I'm a lark. You could be wrong, but that may be the quickest way to do it. You could take an online assessment. So we were talking earlier about the Sleep Doctor site, and we'll put the link in the description. He's got an online assessment that you can have a look at, which is very simple to do. Probably takes less than 5 minutes, and that sort of gives you a sense of what your chronotype is. And then thirdly, we've got this energy diary that I've done in an early episode. Do you want to share a little bit more about that approach and why that's your recommended approach?
Yeah, it's not the most common way to find your energy and the patterns that change throughout the day. But the reason I recommend that will give you a personalized pattern of the fluctuations of your energy and attention, which is quite unique for yourself, because you can understand your chronotype, which is quite important actually. But problem with fitting yourself into these stock models is that there can be slight differences. But if you want an exact model that you can copy into your calendar, I think the best way to go is use the energy diary for 2 weeks. You will have enough data to understand where's your highest, what's the best time to focus on tasks, what's the best time not to use to make critical decisions, and what's the best time to work with a bit more with the teams and generate new ideas.
Okay, so if we can provide an energy diary, that'll be helpful for people, which is really on a daily basis. Was it 2-hour intervals that you record?
Yeah, I think one you did, Alex. We went to 1.5-hour blocks just to get like a finer detail of those patterns. It sounds like a lot of work, but it's actually quite easy to do. Hopefully, we can provide a template for the all the listeners to use.
Yep. Cool. So step 1, understand your daily energy levels: morning, lunch, evening. Break it up into 3 blocks during the day, just to make it really simple. The next step is, I actually had a screenshot. So that's the Sleep Doctor site with the link to the assessment. Check that one out. We'll put the link as well. So the next step is setting up your calendar based on your energy levels. So for instance, this is mine. This is a snapshot from Google Calendar. You can do it with Outlook. You can do it with your Apple Calendar. Whatever you do it with, you can apply it in a way that it's not blocking out your time, but it's visible to you and not to others. So here I've got from 8 a.m. to 10:30 is my medium energy, my morning freshness. Fresh in the morning, not my highest energy level, not my lowest, like after lunch, but that's that sort of period. I've given it a title, I've given it a time. I've set it to be daily during the week. And then I've also got, I've put Alex's flow calendar. So this is a separate calendar to my work one. So I can actually overlay them and I can turn it off. So that way you don't have a calendar which looks like it's got a zillion things overlapping. And then I've got clicked on free, which means I'm free and not busy. And there's slightly different terminology depending on the calendar you use. So what does that look like? And here is 1 week. Well, it's zoomed in, as you can see, but I've got 3 energy blocks. My morning one I've got is the medium from 8 till 10:30. That's a period of time that I feel fresh in the morning. I can focus. I'm clear of mind. Just had my breakfast before I hit the 10:30 rest of the day slump. And keep in mind, everyone's going to be different, right? So also keep in mind, I've got 2 young boys. I often have to deal with them maybe late at night. Someone wakes up, they can't quite sleep, impacts my sleep. So this isn't representative of the best of me, but this is me today. And it's sort of aspirational to see how do I shrink that low energy, because you can see most of the day I've got low energy. And then in the evening, I start waking up, and that's probably when the kids are busy doing other things. But you can sort of see here that I've set these up in the background. They're free, but they're low visibility colors. Now, that's not the only way you can set it up. So this is kind of blocking out back to back those 3 blocks. But then another, for instance, is this one here, where if you know that there's a point in the day that this is when you're in the zone, 9 to 11, that's me. I can really plow through the most amazing PowerPoint. I can do the hardest coding I need to do, whatever you need to do. You block everything out. You turn off your Outlook, and this is the time. So you can just block that out, very simply enough, and block it out for the whole week. And in a similar vein, you could just block out when's the time that I'm going to meet with people, and you start honing in on more time for your productive work and less time for your actual interactive work or low energy work. Is there anything you'd add to that, Ashen?
I quite like this, to be honest, because you're protecting your most productive time. You blocked it out. And also there's some time just you dedicated to meet people. If depending on how deep people want to go, you can actually utilize this, but you can add a recurring nap time. Because nothing your human body likes rather than the most favorite thing the human body likes is the recurrence or the routine. So lunchtime at 12, if that's where you normally have, you block it out and then have a nap time in that low energy period to get bit of energy boost, because ideally you shouldn't really have a coffee at like 3 p.m. But if we can have a short nap linked to this time, because this is that dreaded low energy period, a nap would give you a boost. This will also help you to kind of block your most productive time, protect it, as we talked before. No, definitely recommend this one.
So this is one layer. It's up to you to fill these blocks with your own meetings. You'll populate this as required, but this is just a nice it's a different lens to remind you, okay, I've got a project work to do. Here's where I'm going to allocate time for it. Here's when I'm going to have more meetings, etc., etc. So it's a nice little reminder to yourself. Now, this share and protect, the third part is let other people know that you're doing this, and I think that's really important. Otherwise, everyone's going to go, why did you just move my meeting, or can't we meet at 8 o'clock? Just share it, and I think that's really important, sharing it with your team so they're aware of you and your own patterns and your energy levels. And I think that's really valuable if we start recognizing and understanding, Ashton, I know you get really tired after lunch. I'm going to leave you alone because I'm not going to get the best out of you anyway. And this is good for them to share as well. So it's great if you're not the only one doing this, but definitely share it with others. Put it in your signature or something. But that also will help when they look at your calendar. Be intentional about the time of day that you book your focus activities and your meetings. So that's the habit to get into. That it's great to see this in the background, but it's up to you to protect the time, particularly your highest energy periods of time. And yes, appreciate that it goes up and down even within that slot. But that's the time that you want to do the highest output work or the most cerebrally challenging work. And then thirdly, be firm but flexible. So if you've got an external meeting and it actually is in your focus time, then sometimes you need to accommodate others. Some people may say absolutely no, I'm going to protect it and that's it, and that's great to have that discipline. Sometimes, depending on your role in the organization, you need to flex more. So I think there are three things to remember with that share and protect side. Once you've got this system set up, then that allows you to continue and map out your work according to this. So this is one step or one tool to add to your existing productivity toolkit. So it's not the only thing, but you should certainly add this to however else you manage your productivity.
Great call out, Alex. I think, and also just be mindful, you're probably championing a culture change with this one. Wellness and well-being is a current relevant topic for workplaces. It will take a bit of time for you to get the buy-in from your peers and the other team members, but definitely just have these conversations and champion that movement within organizations.
It's worthwhile to note that this works across all calendar sort of systems. This is one part of it. We'll probably share a little bit more with you next time with regards to those that may be doing side gigs, or whether you're working on passion projects or startups on the weekend. How can this help as well? So this is primarily for working from that 9 to 5 time, but there's probably other opportunities depending on what else you're doing. All right, so thanks for that, and that concludes today's episode. So thanks a lot, fellow snooze strategists, and before you doze off, don't forget to hit the like button, and if you want to keep getting free tips, make sure you subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you next time.